Okay, so I think we need to talk about this new trailer for Starfleet Academy. I covered it a little bit yesterday in my video, and it didn't get a lot of watches, and I understand a lot of people just don't give a care about Starfleet Academy, and I'll give you that. But the problem that I have, and the reason that I'm making this video right here, is because of some of the comments that were made on that last video, not to mention the fact, comments that were made on Facebook chats that I have had with people about Star Trek Starfleet Academy. People seem to think that not only I, but a lot of other people out there are just getting way too negative on Star Trek. All we do is click on this stuff to hate on it. And I have to disagree with those people, completely disagree with them. For myself and a lot of other fans, Star Trek has and always will be a beacon of hope. The idea that humanity can grow from the pathetic, petty differences that we currently have today and move on into a brighter future after going through struggles is a hope, is a dream that we all aspire to be. Star Trek has given us so much ideas and inspiration for what the future can be. Sad to say though, but that's not what we get from modern day Star Trek. To a lot of us, it is nothing more than a negative, politically correct messaging system that doesn't do anything to inspire anyone to go beyond who they could be. Star Trek used to inspire people to get into science, to get into education, just to better themselves. But that's not what Star Trek seems to be anymore. Modern day Star Trek has killed off all the hope, the joy, the excitement for looking to the future of what mankind could become. It has ruined that. To many fans, it has taken something that we absolutely loved and adore and made a mockery of it. It is no longer the valuable property that we all came to love and adore. It is a joke. And while many people have enjoyed Lower Decks, it still doesn't take away from the fact that they have found a way to make fun of Star Trek and at the same time make the Federation look incredibly stupid. Now, I've said many times, there are certain episodes of Strange New Worlds that I honestly enjoyed, and Those Old Scientists happens to be one of them. While I'm not a big fan of Lower Decks, I did enjoy the blending of these characters from the animated series into the live story. I thought it was a nicely done, well-written script. And while it's not something I would consider as one of the best ones in the series, Strange New Worlds gave us Subspace Rhapsody, and for the fact of effort, I will give them an A for the initial effort. I mean, again, it takes courage to try and do something completely out of the norm. And believe me, this is out of the norm. So some of you are out there already saying to yourselves, well, wait a minute, he loves Those Old Scientists, and he thought Subspace Rhapsody was okay. What is the problem with Starfleet Academy? There is a lot to be said about Starfleet Academy. The trailer does not come across to me as anything but a disaster. Let me explain to you why I have a problem. This show is a spin-off of Star Trek Discovery, a show I couldn't stand. And the idea that Star Trek Discovery destroyed 900 years of Star Trek Starfleet universe really bugs me. What about the Jem'Hadar? Jem'Hadar are bred in birthing chambers. They do not have a sexual drive built into them. They are warriors. There are no women Jem'Hadar, and yet here's one right here. And what is she? She's a mixed breed. She is a Jem'Hadar and a Klingon. Now, how is that even possible if the Jem'Hadar don't have sex drive? What about this shot right here where we have the villain whistling the Star Trek theme? No one in the history of Star Trek has whistled the theme. It's just the theme for the show. It's not supposed to be attached to the people inside the universe. And yet here he is whistling while he works in Starfleet Academy. Now, I know a lot of people out there have been arguing that Starfleet Academy, nobody wants to see a show about a bunch of cadets going through the paces at a Starfleet school. Granted, that's the same thing that people said basically about Deep Space Nine. No one wants to see a series about a space station. But the difference between DS9 and Starfleet Academy, now my comparison is based on my watching of Deep Space Nine, which I absolutely love, and I think it's one of the better of the series, and Commander Sisko, if I stack them up against all the other captains, I still think that he is the best one of them all. But the difference between Deep Space Nine and Starfleet Academy is Deep Space Nine, while it did have some progressive ideas involved with it, it didn't try to shove them down your throat. What sets Starfleet Academy aside and gives it a negative chance at anything is because Alec Kurtzman and his people have gone out of their way to shove political correctness down the throats of everyone in almost every series that they've created, which gives Starfleet Academy a bad rating in my opinion. I said it on my previous video, and I'll say it again here. When I look at this, I don't get a science fiction vibe from this thing. I get more of a Beverly Hills 90210 type vibe. It's more of a soap opera than it is science fiction. If I am wrong about this, and this show actually is pretty good, I will come right on and apologize. I'm not even afraid to admit that I'm wrong. Paramount has given this thing a second season already without any audience response to the first season. So I don't know if that just says that they have hopes for this thing or they're just desperate to put it to bed. I don't know. Giving something a second season without an audience response to the first is an interesting response as far as I'm concerned. The simple fact is this. There's just been too much damage done to Star Trek. This thing could be gold. And yet, because of all the damage that has been done, no one is going to trust this. I mean, look at Star Wars as a clear example. Andor, from what I understand, had a great series, but because of all the negative response to Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Book of Boba Fett, Andor got destroyed because no one cared about it because they were burnt out over all the devastation done to the canon and to the political correctness that was shoved down everyone's throat. If this thing really does bomb, like I believe it's going to, then perhaps it is time for Skydance to not consider making any more Star Trek, no more movies. It is time to put it to rest, let people move on away from it, and perhaps maybe we can repair the damage that has been done and bring to the fans something exciting that truly shows respect for not only for the fans, but for the history of this great franchise. Anyway, I had to come out and respond to those comments that were made. I'm not trying to be negative just to be negative. But when I see something wrong, I have to respond. And again, I hope I'm wrong. I want Star Trek to succeed. But if this thing is what I think it is, then we need to put Star Trek to bed for a little while and let it reset. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments, so please drop them below and let me know. Until the next time, my friends, God bless.